This is Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review with your NHL Play of the Day for Thursday, January the 5th. Let's get right to it. We're going to go to the Nashville Predators Tampa Bay Lightning game for today's Play of the Day. We're going to look for this game to feature some goals to be scored between the Predators and the Lightning. You know, Tampa Bay head coach John Cooper, after his team's 6-4 loss against Winnipeg Tuesday night, a familiar refrain from him saying, quote, "We just didn't defend." Well, guess what? He has probably said those words about 3 or 4 times in the last month or so about this Tampa Bay team. And that's been the major problem with Tampa Bay and why they've been just an average hockey team this season, despite, going to the Stanley Cup final and a couple of years ago and going deep into the playoffs again last year. They have just not been defending at a championship level. That's been the biggest problem with Tampa, and it continued on Tuesday night in that 6-4 loss. And you could say probably the same thing about Nashville at times this season. They've been a little bit sloppy defensively, and they are coming off a 2-1 overtime loss against Montreal in their last game. Nashville, it's a team that's also looking to find consistency, and a Nashville team that really hasn't been able to kick it into high gear either. And you've got two teams talking about how big of a game this is, how we've got to be ready to roll. And when I see quotes like that, both teams need the 2 points badly. I would expect both teams to really be aggressive. And obviously when you're aggressive, that means offensively. And that should lead, I think, to some scoring chances and eventually some goals in this hockey game. Peter Laviolette sort of hinting that he needs a little bit more out of James Neal, his leading goal scorer, who's been a little bit quiet in his last few games. He's actually been held off the score sheet completely in 5 straight games. But maybe a game against Tampa Bay can get James Neal going, because he does have 17 points in his career and 16 games played against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe this is the opponent that gets him out of his system. Andrei Vasilevsky has been very up and down in net for the Lightning. Of course, he is the guy in net for the foreseeable future with Ben Bishop injured. And Pekka Rinne has also been very inconsistent. He's had some great moments. He's had some games where he's stolen a victory for his team, and then he's had games where he's let in some soft goals, and the team ends up losing games because the goaltending from Rinne just isn't good enough. But the bottom line is here, I think you got two teams that are going to really want to get after it, play aggressive, play in the offensive zone in this hockey game, and then you've got some trends to support a lower scoring game here in this particular matchup. You've got the over being 6-1 in Tampa Bay's last 7 games against Western Conference opponents, and the over is 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings between the Predators and Lightning here in Tampa Bay. And I think we get something similar. Like I say, I've not been impressed with Tampa's defensive play for some time. Nashville, I think, especially on the road, they've had the tendency to play a little bit worse defensively away from home, and the over-under records home and away speak to that. I mean, Nashville 8-8 to the over-under at home, 9-8 to the over on the road. Tampa Bay 8 overs, 10 unders on the road, but at home, Tampa Bay with a 10-6 mark to the over. So they've played a little bit more loose, a little bit more offensive-minded on home ice. I think that continues tonight. Let's go ahead and make it official with Nashville, Tampa Bay over 5.5. That is rotation number 56. We're going to look for a high-scoring affair between the Predators and the Lightning, and usually, like in the NFL, when you get these interconference AFC versus NFC matchups, you sometimes get higher scoring games. I think the same can be said when you get East versus West, teams that aren't quite as familiar with one another. You get a little bit more of a loose atmosphere and a little bit more of a higher scoring game. I think we see that play out tonight down in Tampa. Let's take the Predators and Lightning over 5.5 for your play of the day in the NHL for Thursday, January the 5th. All right, that'll wrap it up. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Until next time, enjoy the games and good luck.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.